Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sabbai Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear Lord Nrsingadev, please therefore cease your anger now that my father, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, has been killed. Even a saintly person takes pleasure in the killing of a scorpion or a snake. All the worlds have achieved great satisfaction because of the death of this demon. Now they are confident of their happiness, and they will always remember your auspicious incarnation in order to be free from fear. Please repeat. My Lord Nrsingadev, please therefore cease your anger now that my father, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, has been killed. Even saintly persons take pleasure in the killing of a scorpion or a snake. All the worlds have achieved great satisfaction because of the death of this demon. Now they are confident of their happiness, and they will always remember your auspicious incarnation in order to be freed from fear. Purport. The most important point in this verse is that although saintly persons never desire the killing of any living entity, they take pleasure in the killing of envious living entities like snakes and scorpions. Hiranyakashipu was killed because he was worse than a snake or a scorpion, and therefore everyone was happy. There was no need for the Lord to be angry. Now, there was no need for the Lord to be angry. The devotees can always remember the form of Nrsinga when they are in danger, and therefore the appearance of Nrsingadev was not at all inauspicious. The Lord's appearance is always worshipable and auspicious for all sane persons and devotees. So Srila Prabhupada said that we worship Lord Nrsingadev for 3 reasons. To protect the Guru, to protect the movement, and to protect the devotees. So he is our, Lord Nrsingadev is our Ishtadeva of protection. Not that we worship him exclusively of Radha and Krishna and Gaunitai. Thank you. But he is there for protection. So we don't have to bother Gauranga, and they're busy propagating their Sankirtan mission, and Radha and Krishna are enjoying their pastimes. So this form of Lord Nrsingadev, he'll take care of the protection of the devotees. Here in the purport, Prabhupada is talking about the most important point in this verse is that although saintly persons never desire the killing of any living entity, they take pleasure in the killing of an envious living entity like a snake or a scorpion. So Prabhupada gave one personal example. When he was in Mayapur, he was at the Chaitanya Mat, at the house of his guru, and you've seen his house when you go to the Chaitanya Mat. There's a house just before you approach it. So Bhaktisiddhanta's house, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's house. And there was a little veranda there on the first floor. He would pace up and down. Prabhupada said he would pace up and down chanting there. And one time when Srila Prabhupada was there, the devotees found a big snake, a poisonous snake. So they called out, Guru Maharaj, there's a poisonous snake here. What shall we do? And he said, you should kill it. And Srila Prabhupada said, I was a little bit taken aback. I thought, here is such a saintly person. Why he is asking to kill the snake? It's a living entity. The Vaishnavas, they don't like to kill any living entity. Now he's ordering to kill the snake. And he said, I had some little doubt there. He said, but later on, and then I've read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in this verse, Prahlad Maharaj said that even the saintly person is happy when a poisonous snake or scorpion is killed. And Prabhupada said, then I became happy that when I read this, and it confirmed what my Guru Maharaj had said. Because these are envious creatures, Prabhupada said, they bite for no reason at all. Especially if you tread on them, they will bite, but even for no reason. In Bengal is the highest rate of snake bites, death from snake bites in the world. So sometimes, most of them, because they go out in the dark or something early in the morning and they tread on the snake or something. But some of them, the snake just comes in the house and bites them when they're sleeping, or a little baby or something like that. So it's just envious. So they can be killed. And when they kill a snake, they burn it. They will burn the body, because when the snake puts the photograph of the person who killed it in his eye, and then when its mate comes along and finds that snake, it will see who killed him. Then he will go and bite that person. Saying in Bengal. And there was one instance. That one man killed a poisonous snake. He was visiting his relatives. He killed the snake, and then after his relatives, he went back home to his house, and he had his bag with him. When he opened his bag, the snake jumped out and bit him and killed him immediately. So Prabhupada says they can recognize. So, snakes and scorpions, they're envious creatures. So here, Hiranyakashipu is being compared to a snake or a scorpion. Although he was killed, everybody was happy. The whole universe was happy. So not only they were happy that Lord Nrsingadeva had come and killed the big demon, because the demigods had lost their positions actually in Hiranyakashipu was terrorizing. Yeah, did they lose their positions? Yeah. Hiranyakashipu was sitting on Indra's throne when he killed Nrsingadeva was sitting on Indra's throne because he had the battle there. He killed Hiranyakashipu there. And there's some temples in South India also. They say this is where Nrsingadeva killed Hiranyakashipu. And big columns are there. So we asked, how come Nrsingadeva killed him here? And in Bhagavatam it says he was killed on Indraloka. And they say, no, simultaneously these things happened. It simultaneously went on here and it went on Indraloka. So they have many places in South India where Nrsingadeva appeared and Prahlad was there. Although he was actually occupying the throne of Indra. So although he's appeared in this ferocious form and he's angry, he's killed Nrsingadeva. Not only killed Hiranyakashipu, but he's killed millions of his soldiers. And so he's really, really ferocious. But still, it's considered very auspicious. Whatever Krishna does is very auspicious and never inauspicious. Just like we have the temple of Ranchoji. Krishna ran away from the battlefield. He should be considered a coward. He ran away from the battlefield. Of course, he had a good reason, because then Rukmini had sent him that letter through the Brahmana to come and kidnap her. I thought, well, this is pretty interesting. It's better than defeating Jarasandha. I've already defeated him 17 times. What's the use of defeating him again? This is quite interesting. This Rukmini, the goddess of fortune, is asking me to come. So he left the battlefield to tend to his other business. But because he was left and he was accused by Jarasandha and everyone, oh, he's a coward, he ran away, he's rancho, means he left the battlefield. It's the worst thing you can do as a Kshatriya is to be a coward and run away. But then you have a temple of Ranchoji. Although it's an abominable disgrace for a Kshatriya to run away, but still he runs away, and what they do, they put him in a temple and worship him as Rancho, the one who ran away from the battle. So whatever Krishna does is always glorious and worshipable. So here he's appearing in a ferocious form, but still they're worshipping. And not only they're worshipping, but they're saying also, now you perform this pastime, we've got something to remember in the future. So even today we have this, we can remember how Lord Nrsingadeva came in this form and killed Hiranyakashipu. So we can always be remembering the Lord, and we can take advantage and pray to Him for the protection of the devotees of Guru and of the movement. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, now please cease your anger now. He's asking him to cease his anger. In the last verse or purport, it says that, anyway, it said that the Lord is always, these are only His pastimes, okay. Yeah, your appearance in this form is your pastime for your own pleasure. So, He's completely angry, but actually it's for His pleasure. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, now you give up your anger, but He's just said it's for His pleasure, so why you want to give up your if it makes you happy by being angry, then that's great. Whatever Krishna wants, the devotees, they want His happiness, that's their only business. So it says, that's His pastime, it brings Him happiness. But Prahlad Maharaj is saying, no, you can please give up your anger. So he said, Prabhupada said, because the devotees are naturally very simple. Naturally very simple. They're simple and faithful. So they're praying, please give up your anger, Lord, because we're a little bit frightened also. Prahlad wasn't so frightened, but everyone else was, the demigods were. They couldn't even go forward. Lakshmi, it was my husband. That's my husband. I've never seen a form like this. Brahma couldn't go, so they kind of pushed Prahlad forward. Actually, he came for you, Prahlad, so you should go and pacify him. So Prahlad Maharaj, he's pacifying the Lord with prayers. Whatever the Lord does, He is absolute in His dealing. So He performs this angry form. But Krishna's not at all attached. He's not attached to anything. So he's aloof from happiness and distress. And so why he should be overcome by anger, kam, krodh, it's a very bad quality, anger. But how the Lord is. So then we understand philosophically that, it's His pastime. And so in Tattva, He can become angry. But in Rasa, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, please get rid of your anger. You can stop your anger now, Lord Nrsingadeva. Because he's very meek, and Prabhupada said they're very meek and simple. They're very simple. So Prahlad is very simple. So he has a relationship with Lord Nrsingadev, and so he's seeing him as angry, and he said, I don't want you to be angry. So this is the rasa, this is better than tattva. Understanding philosophically how the Lord gets angry, but it's not at all attached. But Prahlad Maharaj is speaking, although it's one of Nrsingadev's pleasure pastimes to become angry, Prahlad saying, please give up that pleasure pastime. This is rasa, this is his feeling. So Lord Nrsingadev, Krishna is Rasaraj, and he prefers these sweet dealings with his devotees rather than, being the supreme independent personality of Godhead. He can do what he likes. So then Prahlad can pacify him. We don't like to see you angry. You like it, but it's difficult for us to approach. This is like Lord Nrsingadev in Mayapur. He's a Sthana Ugra Nrsinga. Ugra means angry. Sthana means the column, the pillar, where he come from. This form of Lord Nrsingadev, he's just come out the pillar. He hasn't killed Hiranyakashipu yet. So he's extremely angry. Here he's very angry, but he's already killed Hiranyakashipu, so he's kind of pacified because this is what he come for. But the Usthana Nrsinga, he's really, really angry. He hasn't killed Hiranyakashipu, so this is the most fearsome form. When we had this deity made, we were attacked by dacoits in Mayapur sometime, and about 30 dacoits came in the middle of the night, 1 o'clock, throwing bombs and axes, breaking down the doors, and they stole the deity of Radharani. They thought she was golden, because they contacted one astrologer and he said, yes, gold, because she was Ashtodatta, and then 8 metals, and they put a token bit of gold in. But somehow now this astrologer said, yes, this gold is theirs, and she was very shiny, so they thought solid gold, so she was their target. And so the big gang came and attacked, and anyway, after that, we rescued Radharani later on. And Bhavananda Prabhu, he had a dream, and he saw that all the dacoits were coming. Then he saw Lord Nrsingadev, and Nrsingadev burst in, and he was starting to killing all these demons, and he was ripping their throat and pulling out their chest and intestines, and everywhere. He was just tearing them all apart, and really ferocious. And he woke up and he said, well, we should get a deity of Lord Nrsingadev to protect it. We're having this dangerous time here. Because in at the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we were having a lot of problems there, and then they installed that Lakshmi Nrsingadev, you can see when you go there. And since that time, there was no major problems. So he said we should install this Lord Nrsingadev. So he drew a picture of the Nrsingadev he saw in his dream. And then Atmatattva Prabhu, he took that to South India, to Chennai side, to the Silpis, or the workmen who make those deities. And when he saw the picture, he said, oh, this is, Sthana Ugra Nrsinga. He said, I want you to make a deity. He said, no way. He said, no one will make a deity like this. He said, this is the most ferocious form of Lord Nrsingadev. Most ferocious. Because Hiranyakashipu has been terrorizing Prahlad. He's been tormenting him again and again and again, trying to kill him. And Lord Nrsingadev is really, really angry. Now, Hiranyakashipu says, right, I'm going to kill you myself. Lord Nrsingadev, his tolerance broke at this point. Lord Nrsingadev, I just can't wait to get him now. This is the last straw, And so he just bursts from that pillar. He's so angry. And the Shilpi, he said, nobody worships this type of deity. He said, you install a deity because you can approach the deity, you can offer prayers, you can ask for benedictions. This is the purpose of having a deity. Why you install a deity you can't approach? No one can approach. The demigods couldn't approach, Lord Brahma couldn't approach, no one can approach. Especially in this form, before he's killed Hiranyakashipu. So, why you have a deity like this? What's the point of having a deity you can't approach? And he asked his guru, who was the Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram, he said, don't make it for ISKCON. He said, they are becoming very powerful. Don't make it. Then he said, the last person who worshipped this deity, he said, that place is now a ghost town. He said, they had a gorgeous worship there, elephant riot, processions every day with Nrsingadev. He said, but now that place is a complete ghost town. Everybody left that place and nobody stays there anymore. He said, otherwise nobody else, there's no other deity like that on the planet. Then after some time, then his guru said, you can. He said, okay, you can make that deity for ISKCON. And he said, this is deity is from Mayapur. So, in the Dham, the predominating deity there, then all the other deities, they will take on the mood of the predominating deity. So he said, Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Adodhya. His Mahabharanaya is very generous. His Adodhya Dham is one of generosity, is giving. It's just simply giving. Mahabharanaya Krishna Prema Vadaya, it's giving the holy name, giving Braja Prema through the chanting of Hare Krishna. So he said then all the other deities will take on the mood of the predominating deity. So we'll have this Adodhya aspect, he'll have this very kind aspect. So then he agreed to make the deity, and eventually he was installed there in Mayapur. And after that, there hasn't been any kind of major problem, only little things, but nothing really major has happened. So he's there to protect. And because usually we're advised not to approach the Lord to ask for benedictions, right? We're supposed to be practicing pure devotional service. The Lord is not our order supplier, but we want to please the Lord. So in the beginning, or if you're practicing karma yoga, then it's very good you approach the Lord for different things. Jai Sri Radha Gokulananda Ju ki, Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki. But in this form of Lord Nrsingadev, then we can actually ask for benediction to remove obstacles in the path of pure devotional service. So for this reason we can worship Lord Nrsingadev. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Navadip Bhava Taranga, he mentions, he's not making the parikrama, he goes to Nrsingsapoli, the famous temple of Lord Nrsingadev there, from the Satyuga. Now actually, when Hiranyakashipu was killed, after he killed, Lord Nrsingadev went there to take rest. Mandakini River there, Mandakini, yeah. And Lord Nrsingadev stayed there, and all the devatas built their palaces around to stay with Lord Nrsingadev for some time. So he came because it was his special abode, his own abode, so he came to Navadvip to take some rest after killing Hiranyakashipu. Anyway, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making the parikrama, and this is described in the Navadip Bhava Taranga, and everything is being revealed to him, the Dharma is being revealed. So then Lord Nrsingadev, he goes to the temple and he begs the mercy of Lord Nrsingadev. Lord Nrsingadev appears to him. He puts his lotus feet on the head of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And he says, you should stay here in the Dham and you should chant the holy names and cultivate worship of Radha and Krishna. So be fearless, my child. He gave him Abhaya, the Abhaya mudra, to take away the fear, to remove his problems. And he said, then very soon, by the mercy of my devotees, you will achieve all of your perfection. So although Lord Nrsimhadev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his prayer, when he was offering Bhaktivinoda Thakur the benediction, he said, by the mercy of my devotees. He could have given, but we see that generally Krishna's mercy always comes through his devotees. So he gave him the benediction of Abhaya, be fearless in your devotional service. Because finally at the end of his prikram he gets the mercy of Lord Shiva. Then he attains his perfection. He sees spiritual manifestations. Vaishnava Jataha Shambhu, he is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. And then Lord Shiva says, by my mercy you will attain. Lord Nrsimhadev said, by my devotee's mercy you will attain everything. When he met Lord Shiva, he was dancing. Boom, boom, Gauranga, Jai Sachinandan, boom, boom. He has that saying. Boom, boom, be merciful upon all living entities. Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur meets him and says, by my mercy, Maya will flee, Maya will retreat. Because he's the husband of Maya. Who else can tell Maya to retreat? Devi Yashim Kun Maya, Mama Maya Duratya. It's very difficult to approach. Very, very difficult. Nobody can order Maya around. She's the controlling force in this material world. Everything is under her tight grip and control. Who is she? Whose control is she under? Her husband. So Lord Shiva says, by my mercy, my wife will retreat, Maya will retreat. So Vaishnav Jataha Shambhu, we can get the mercy of the Vaishnav then. Especially by Lord Shiva. So, anyway, this is the reason why we're worshipping Lord Nrsimha. He can remove the obstacles, give you fearlessness in your devotional service. And he's very, very popular. His worship is very, very popular in Mayapur Dham because Kali Yuga, everyone's got so many problems, so many obstacles. They're coming to all the time. So we're always offering. I have to offer some pujas and Lord, they want this obstacle removed, they want this obstacle removed. So that's okay. We can actually pray to Lord Nrsimhadev for, to remove like the material obstacles. Although it doesn't, it's not the way to actually to approach Radha and Krishna. We just want pure devotional service. But if there are obstacles, then Radha and Krishna expand those. Lord Nrsimhadev for this purpose. Not only does he remove the obstacles, but he enjoys it, especially in Navadvip Dham. If you worship Lord Nrsimhadev in Navadvip Dham, he really likes it because so many forms of Nrsimhadev, especially in South India, and there's so many Nrsimha Bhaktas there. They worship, and they all go back to Nrsimha Loka. But it's not our intention to go back to Nrsimha Loka when we're worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev. It became quite fashionable many years ago that everybody wanted to worship Lord Nrsimhadev and have a deity of Lord Nrsimhadev and the Nrsimhadev Shaligram. Everyone was into it. But it's not that we should be, Nrsimha conscious all the time. Our Istadeva is Radha Gokulananda and Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. These are our worshipful deities. Of course, you can choose any Lord of your heart desires, what you have feeling for. But specifically, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving us our identity. Gopi Padiyo Kamala Dasa Dasanoda. We are the servant of Gopinath. That is our identity. Mahaprabhu was giving us our identity. Servant of the master of the gopis. Gopinath. So that is our identity. So it's not that we want to worship Lord Nrsimhadev 24 hours a day and concentrate on him 24 hours a day. But Prabhupada introduced, after every arti, you can chant this song, Lord Nrsimhadev's song, for protection of the devotee's guru and the mission. So Yeah, so they're worshipping all over India. They worship all over the world, actually. That's it. But this particular form in Mayapur, he's very, very. He's even more ready to serve and give benediction than the other forms. He's actually enthusiastic to hear those prayers and things like that, and benedictions they're asking, because when the devotees go to for the devotees of Gauranga and Radha and Krishna, he especially likes them, because when they approach him, please remove the obstacles in the path of our Sankirtan mission and our preaching, whatever we're doing, please remove the obstacles. Lord Nrsimha said, oh great. He said, I get a chance to also take part in the Sankirtan movement. I can serve the devotees of the Bhaktas of Gauranga who are doing Sankirtan. Because he's in Navadvip, now I can get his service to all the devotees. I also get some service to Gauranga like this by taking all the obstacles away from the devotees. So he's especially merciful there. So he's also taken on that mood of a doja, and he gives very generously his mercy. Although he is very ferocious to the non-devotees. But he looks like he's smiling, although he's got a big mouth and big sharp teeth, and fearsome nails. But he's very merciful to the devotees. But when he first came, I was in so much anticipation that I was shaking. We were hearing all these stories about this Ugra Nrsimha and how the whole town was lost, became a ghost town, and everybody was deserted it, or they were killed or something. And when the deity was bought, we bought the deity, and then they said, okay, so you're going to worship the deity? I said, I'm not worshiping Lord Nrsimhadev. The Pangajangi you will worship. I'm not worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev. Was scared. Oh, I'm taking him back then if you're not going to worship. I thought you would worship him. So then finally Pangajangi agreed to do that seva, to worship Lord Nrsimhadev, but still I was in complete anticipation. It's scary, hearing all these stories. What's going to happen to the deity department in Mayapur now? And for quite some time then, I was sitting in front of Lord Nrsimhadev meditating, seeing that ferocious form. Then I thought, oh, it's you, Madhava. Oh, it's the same vibration. Oh, it's you, Madhava. You just assume this form of Lord Nrsimhadev, like you assume so many forms. And then, all of my anxiety went, and I saw you, Madhava. And ever since that time, there's no anxiety. So this is a wonderful pastimes of Krishna, assuming in so many different forms of so like that we can see how Ishtadeva are actually everywhere. We understand the different forms. You can always see your worshipful deity. You may go to a temple of Shiva and Parvati, but you can see who is Shiva and Parvati. In the beginning of creation, Krishna expands as Vishnu, his glance, which is non-different than him, transforms into Shambhu, and Radharani is transformed. His internal potency is Yogamaya, Roma Devi. She becomes Mahamaya in the material world, Durga or Parvati, and Krishna becomes Shiva. So you can see, is my worshipful Lords, Radha Gokulananda, appearing as Shiva and Parvati. So they're appearing in every manifestation. It's nothing. Everything comes from them. So like that, you can see, we'll be able to see our Ishtadeva, that our worshipful deities. We'll be able to see them everywhere and everything, because there's nothing but Krishna in existence. Earth, water, fire, and air. The book table is, what is it? It's Krishna's energies. This is Maya, which Krishna? Then you can immediately see your worshipful deity in anything, because he's transformed into it. But you see the source. You remember the source. Oh, it's my worshipful Lord. So in this way, the Krishna consciousness, we'll be able to see our worshipful deity everywhere. What time do we finish? 8:30. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki? Shri Prad Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki?